You wake up on the ground because beds haven't been invented yet. Your back hurts. Everything hurts, actually. You're 23 years old, which makes you middle-aged in Stone Age terms. Most of your friends are already dead from infections that modern humans would cure with a single antibiotic pill. But antibiotics won't exist for another 10,000 years, so good luck with that infected cut on your foot. Breakfast isn't happening because you didn't catch anything yesterday. Your stomach has been growling for 2 days straight. The berries you found last week, turned out half of them were poisonous. You survived, but your friend didn't. Nobody knew which ones were safe because Yelp reviews don't exist yet. Trial and error is the only method available, and error usually means death. You need to find food today, or your family starves. Not a motivational, I should really go grocery shopping kind of need. Actual life or death hunger that makes your vision blur and your hands shake. You grab your spear, which is just a stick with a sharp rock tied to the end. This took you 3 weeks to make because crafting tutorials haven't been uploaded to YouTube yet. The hunting party consists of you and 4 other guys who smell worse than you do. Personal hygiene is a fantasy concept. Everyone has lice. Everyone has parasites. That weird rash spreading across your chest could be anything from a fungal infection to the early stages of a disease that will definitely kill you. There's no way to know because medical diagnosis won't be a thing for millennia. You spot a deer. Finally, some good news. Except now you have to catch it with Stone Age technology, which means running after it for hours until either it collapses from exhaustion or you do. Spoiler alert, persistence hunting sounds cool in documentaries, but feels like torture when you're actually doing it. Your bare feet are bleeding. Those aren't shoes you're wearing. They're animal skins wrapped around your feet with dried grass, and they provide about as much protection as wet paper towels. 3 hours later, the deer is dead. You're also nearly dead from exhaustion, but at least dinner is secured. Now comes the fun part, carrying a 150-pound animal back to camp without a cart, without roads, and definitely without a truck. You and your buddies drag this thing for miles while predators circle, waiting for you to get weak enough to become the meal instead. Back at camp, everyone celebrates. This meat will feed the tribe for maybe 3 days if you're lucky. Then, it's back to starving because refrigeration is a concept that won't exist for thousands of years. You can't preserve this meat properly. Sure, you'll try smoking it over a fire, but half of it will rot anyway, and someone will eat the rotten part because wasting food means death. Your wife is excited about the successful hunt, which is nice until you remember she's 15 years old. That's not a typo. Life expectancy is so short that humans reproduce as soon as biologically possible, or the species dies out. She's already had 2 children. One died within a week from causes you'll never understand. The other might make it to adulthood if infection, predators, starvation, or any of the 1,000 other lethal dangers don't get him first. The sun is setting and temperature drops fast. Your cave provides some shelter, but it's basically a hole in a rock that's slightly better than sleeping outside. The fire needs constant attention because if it goes out, you're spending tomorrow trying to create friction sparks with sticks. This process takes hours and might not work if conditions aren't perfect. Every single day is a survival game where the difficulty is set to maximum and there's no pause button. Your teeth hurt constantly because dental care is non-existent. That cavity forming in your back molar, it'll abscess eventually, and when it does, the infection might spread to your brain and kill you. Or maybe you'll just live with excruciating pain for years because extracting teeth means having someone rip it out with their bare hands while you scream. But tomorrow brings new problems you haven't even considered yet. Morning arrives and you realize you've been scratching all night. Those aren't just bug bites covering your arms. Something is living in your skin, burrowing and laying eggs. You'll never know what it is because microscopes won't be invented for another 10,000 years. All you know is that it itches like hellfire and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it except scratch until you bleed. which just invites more infections. Your hunting buddy didn't make it through the night. He's cold and stiff in the corner of the cave. That cough he had for the past week turned into something worse, and his lungs filled with fluid while he slept. Everyone's sad for approximately 10 minutes. Then someone points out that we need to move the body before it attracts predators. There's no funeral, no ceremony. You drag him outside and leave him far enough away that the smell won't bother anyone. Nature will handle the rest. The tribe elder is making decisions about today's activities. He's maybe 35 years old, which makes him ancient by Paleolithic standards. His word is law because he's survived long enough to accumulate knowledge, which makes him the closest thing to a library your people have. He's also slowly going blind from cataracts, but nobody mentions this because challenging his authority means getting exiled, which means certain death. A neighboring tribe shows up on your territory. This could go two ways, trade or violence. There's no diplomacy, no negotiation tactics, just a tense standoff while both groups decide if cooperation or combat is more beneficial. They have flint we need. We have access to a river with fish. After some aggressive posturing and a few threats, an agreement forms. They'll share flint for a portion of today's catch. This passes for international relations. Your son asks you to teach him to hunt. He's 7 years old, which means he's already behind schedule for learning survival skills. You take him to track rabbits, knowing full well that his first few attempts will fail spectacularly. He needs to learn now because in 3 years, he'll be expected to contribute meaningfully or become a burden the tribe can't afford. Childhood is a luxury evolution hasn't invented yet. He's not playing. He's training for life or death scenarios that start immediately. That weird plant you ate yesterday is making you hallucinate. Turns out, foraging is basically Russian roulette with vegetation. Some plants provide nutrition. Some provide visions. Some shut down your kidneys. You won't know which category today's meal falls into until symptoms appear. Your stomach cramps violently, and you spend the next 6 hours experiencing what future generations will call food poisoning, but what you're interpreting as angry spirits, punishing you for unknown transgressions. Evening comes with unexpected drama. Someone stole meat from the communal supply, and the tribe needs to figure out who. There's no investigation, no evidence collection. Just accusations and yelling until someone confesses or gets blamed. The guilty party receives swift justice, exile or death, depending on the elder's mood. Social order is maintained through fear because written laws won't exist for thousands of years, and verbal agreements only work when backed by immediate consequences. You lie down for another night, body aching from injuries that will never properly heal. That shoulder you dislocated last month still doesn't move right. Your back is permanently damaged from hauling heavy loads without proper technique or equipment. You're 26 years old but feel ancient. Every joint hurts. Every breath is labor. You've got maybe 4 more years if you're incredibly lucky, 10 if you're blessed by whatever gods your tribe believes in this week. The stars above are beautiful, though. Unpolluted skies reveal the cosmos in ways your descendants will never experience. For just a moment, lying on cold stone while parasites feast on your intestines and infections spread through your bloodstream, you appreciate the view. Then your tooth abscess flares up again, reminding you that beauty doesn't pay the bills. Not that bills exist, but if they did, you definitely couldn't pay them. You close your eyes and hope tomorrow brings food instead of death. That's the Stone Age. No medicine, no safety, no guarantee you'll wake up tomorrow. Every single convenience you've ever taken for granted didn't exist. Your ancestors survived this nightmare so you could complain about slow Wi-Fi. Maybe appreciate that antibiotics exist, and your biggest predator is Monday mornings.